Yes, so today's agenda is broken into two parts. So I'm going to start with sharing today's agenda with us before diving into introduction, expectations, and kickstarting today's webinar with starting a tech career, and also share some very important information that is going to guide us and help us through this entire program. All right, so for those, I'm sure many of us know me already because on this call we have the aspiring tech professionals, those that are just about to kickstart their career. We have experienced, tech professionals on the call. I dropped a video this morning stating why I came up with the QTMP mentorship program. And one out of many reasons is because I actually want to learn from other speakers. Yes, I have colleagues in the industry. I have those that I've trained in the past, hearing from these guys, listening to them speak, sharing, tips, ideas, techniques, how they're able to navigate their real life experiences. And all this has really helped me grow in my career. And, to some of us, we may think, this is just me trying to, put something out there, to flex some muscle. But in actual sense or reality, I am learning heavily from this program, starting from the QTMP Bro 1.0 up to, 4.0 that we keep starting today. We have about 18 plus, mentors that are going to come and teach us, share their experiences and all. And yeah, again, my name is Oluwatobi. I'm founder of Qace Academy, a software tester with over 12 years of experience. Privileged to have worked with both local and international companies called across, different industries, from the fintech to the health care to e-commerce and logistics and many others. And yes, through my work and training, I have trained thousands of tech professionals, helping them, navigate themselves into the tech world, as well as helping them job ready, those seeking promotion, getting their promotions, And yes, outside of tech, you catch me, sharing insights, resources. I love, sharing insights, resources, knowledge, training. Yes, and taking pictures. I love taking pictures a lot. And yeah, behind the scene content on Instagram. So for those of you that followed me, Instagram, TikTok, would have seen me creating content, when I'm less busy or I just want to have fun outside of tech. Yes, I love creating content. And if you're on this call and you're yet to follow me, hit the like button, hit the follow button, connect with me on across my social media. Please do so. Please do so. I really need those supports from you guys. Yeah. All right. So speaking about the vision and the echo system, excuse me. Yeah, I already introduced myself, who QTMP Bro is. And now let's talk about the power of partnership. So QTMP Bro is not just me. This year, I'm also partnering with Qace Academy. And yes, we also partnered with University of Dar es Salaam Computer Center to also train and introduce their students into the tech world. This is a great partnership for us and for me in particular. The why. So why are we, putting this together? One is we're trying to, close the gap, by turning, practical experience. I mean, theoretical experience into practical one. The traditional way of training before, whereby it's just theory. We're trying to, close that gap. Let it be more practical, intense, sharing real life scenarios from practice to real projects, getting your hands on tools and so on. And like we all know, this year mentorship program is titled Modern QA Growth in AI Edition. So everything we are doing this year, it's going to be AI driven. And it's going to be AI driven because AI can speed up our work, even our testing, how we do things, how we ask questions, get clarity. AI has a lot to offer us. Now, speaking about our North Star for this year, the mission, for QTMP Group and Qace Academy, the mission remains the same: to empower 10,000 plus Africans with, with world-class QA and tech skills. And one of them is AI, which we are pushing, to you guys heavily this year. And yeah, so the 2026 horizon, our specific goal for this year is scaling impacts, and as well as so let me close down this. Yeah, so scaling impact, localizing content, and most importantly, increasing placements. And in today's webinar session on starting a tech career, we're going to, talk more around, how you can start to the point of, getting your first placement. So next, so welcome to the QA Tech Group Mentorship 4.0, and the experience here one is to, so what's new in this cohorts? This year we updated our curriculum, and we invited more speakers. And yes, we integrated AI into our trainings and modules. Even starting a tech career, how can you, leverage on AI in starting your career? And the earlier you integrate yourself with the AI, the better it is for you. So all this we are still going to talk more on. Yeah, very important. This year, we are looking at 5 mentor initiative, 50 mentee initiative, whereby 50 selected participants will be paired with mentors. And this is going to happen at the end of the training. So at the end of the mentorship program. So the first phase is the 1 month, where we talk on different topics, different trainings and all. Then at the end of the 4 weeks, 50 students, participants will be selected and placed under mentors. And why are we doing this? Because we've learned that mentors wants to, mentor the serious ones, the interested ones. So as against last year that we just paired, random people with, different mentors, and, we got some feedbacks where some participants won't show up, some mentees won't show up, excuses here and there. So this time around, we want the serious ones, those that are ready to, run this race, because it doesn't end after the 4 weeks. It still continues after the 4 weeks. So the ultimate goal, every action will lead into 2 results. One is your first tech job or your next big promotion. So I believe everyone on this call, be it as tech professional, those already in it, it's either you want to upskill for your next promotion or you want to land your first tech job. And that is why we are here. All right. So yeah, please guys are going to pardon me. We might extend 8 p.m. a little, maybe by 10 minutes or so, because we didn't start early. So what's success blueprints? How to win, how to make the best out of this mentorship program. The first one is your mentor shift. Have it at the back of your mind that you're not just attending, you are advancing. So you need to prepare your mind for rigor professional growth. The number one thing you need to get right is your mindset. Next is radical openness. There's no dumb question, only missed opportunity. And this might come if you don't, this might happen if you don't ask, ask questions. So always ask questions. There's nothing like dumb questions, only missed opportunity. Yeah, the discipline code. Like we all know, text is moving fast, but excuses move you slow. It slows you down. So learn to manage your time and stay consistent. Don't give room to excuse the discipline, and yes. So next is the strategic networking. I look at your actually, your future co-founder, hiring managers, colleagues, they are all in this chat. So pay attention, network with who you feel you need to work with. Next is implementation of over information. So knowledge is only potential power. We discuss how to take today's lesson and apply them to your daily workflow immediately. So it goes beyond just listening and watching and taking down notes. What really counts is after you implement it on your daily workflow. So let's, have the right mindsets and, be disciplined, ask the right question, network, and everything we learn here, let's start implementing that immediately. Yes, so still on, maximizing your success today, we've talked about, mindsets. You arrive as a student, you live as a professional. Me speaking to you here, I'm also a student. But like I mentioned, I want to learn from other speakers. I didn't just bring them here to come and talk to you guys. I also want them to talk to me. I want to learn from them. Curiosity, ask questions, keep asking your question. The discipline, kill the excuse, the excuses that always come your way. Networking, connect with 3 people before the webinar ends. And actually, if you don't implement it within 48 hours, you will likely not do it, which is very true. For everything you learn, the notes you took, if you don't implement it immediately, you will likely never do it. I've been in this before. So before we dive into today's webinar, which is starting a tech career, is there anyone that has a question to ask? Then while I'm waiting, another important information. After tonight's webinar, Victoria is going to share with us the curriculum for this mentorship program, where you see the dates, the topics, the speaker, the time, so we all can be prepared ahead. Yeah. Then for every section, we are going to share the slide on WhatsApp, the WhatsApp group, so that you can go back to read. Every section will also be recorded, and we also plan to upload them on our YouTube channel, so you can also go back and rewatch if you need to. Yeah, so every other information that needs to be passed will be shared on the WhatsApp group. Yeah, James, I can see you raising your hands. You can unmute and ask your question.
All right. Thank you very much for the intro. But just a quick one is, I just observed, I don't know if it's only from my end, that during your introduction, I noticed that you are stationary. And this slide I'm seeing here is the vision and ecosystem. I don't know if there were any other slide before them, because I don't know if it's from my end. I can hear you speak clearly, but the movement is just stationary. I can't see other slides that you were talking about. I'm only seeing the vision of ecosystem, nothing else.
Well, thanks, James. Can anyone else confirm this?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Sure
it's stationary.
Wow. Victoria. So sorry about that. I don't know what could have caused that. Were you paying attention to my slide? I just said I've been on the first slide since I've been speaking.
I actually just thought it was my network because it keeps breaking up. So that was my network.
Okay, let me just. Yeah, so I was asking if there's any question, or if not, we can move on to today's agenda. All right, so okay, so welcome everyone once again to our first webinar for the QA Tech Group Mentorship 4.0, starting a tech career in the AI era. So once again, my name is Oluwatobi, and I'll be your speaker for today. And moving on to the agenda. So I'm currently sharing my screen, and I'll be moving from one slide to the next. So on today's agenda, yeah, we'll be starting with introduction, then move to the foundation, talking about the right mindsets, who is who, understanding the entire product team, and why tech, why QA, integrating AI into your journey, step-by-step career roadmap. Also share with you guys why most beginners struggle and how you won't. The role play, the power of mentorship, the hard truths, challenges, and overcoming them. So all these we are going to talk on today's session. All right, so starting a tech career. So I'm introducing us to today's topic, which is starting a tech career in the AI era. So in 2026, the tech landscape has evolved beyond traditional way of tech like coding. AI tools have come into play and is evolving very fast. Today we have, in fact, low-code platforms, no-code tools. This has helped, break the barriers for career switchers like us, serving tech. For those of us that are currently in tech today, we've seen how these tools has helped us work more efficiently, even learn faster, do faster research, and you can relate it to someone that is just about to kickstart their career. I can remember those early days too when we were learning tools. There were no proper guidance or resources where you can have quick answer. No, today AI tools is just like a co-pilot. Your support. Even your mentor, someone you can talk to, ask questions, and get clarity from. So all these has really changed the entire tech ecosystem for us, and we have diverse, roles that anyone can jump into. So the QA Tech Group mentorship program in partnership with Qace Academy is going to provide, a roadmap for us to navigate through, the technical training, a roadmap that aligns the step-by-steps we can take in landing into tech. We're also going to be sharing some, real life scenario. And by doing this, we're also speaking on how you can integrate AI as your 24/7 tutor, while leveraging the power of mentorship as well. So starting a tech career in the AI era. Moving to the next slide. So the first thing is the foundation, having the right mindset. And when I train people, when I mentor people, one of the things I like to do early enough is a mindset shift. Helping them to have the right mindset, because to me that's like the fuel that powers your passion. When you have the right mindset, you want to give it all your best. You want to show up right. You want to put in all your best efforts. So now here you can see that the growth mindset. What are we saying there? Replace "I don't get this" with "I don't get this yet." For some of us, our first level of frustration start with "I don't get this, I don't know this, I'm not sure I can do this, I don't think this thing is for me." You see that "I don't," it usually leads to frustration, and sometimes some of us end up, quitting or dropping out. Now, whenever you feel you find yourself in this space, you are learning something, you don't get it, always know that you don't get it yet. This applies to every one of us, including myself, up to now. There are things that I'm learning that I don't get right away, but it's not like I won't get it. I just don't get it yet, but I'm still going to get it. So have that mindset in place. I always say to my students, everybody's level of assimilation is different. Some people can get it in one day. Some, it might take 2 days, 3 days. But I tell you, what keeps any one of us going is consistency. As long as we are consistent, we all hit, the final mark. The second one is the 1% rule. You don't need to be 100% better today. You just need 1% better than yesterday.
I was on no meeting on that other one. When I was speaking, it was just misbehaving.
I'm not
Sorry, come again. Yeah, it's breaking on your head, so I can't hear you clearly. All right, so let me just continue. So the third is the why factor. This also helps you with your mindsets. When the training, the tutorials is looking difficult and confusing, you need to ask yourself the why question. Why am I doing this thing? Why am I here? Is it family? Is it for family? Is it for financial freedom? Or is it a combination of the three? Please, at any point you can't hear me or my slide, please just bring it to my notice. All right. So I'm on the third point, which speaks to the why factor. When the tutorials are confusing, the training is looking difficult, always ask yourself the why question. Why am I doing this? I tell people when I started, mine was, I think it's a combination of financial freedom and passion. In fact, what really fueled my own passion then was when I received my first offer letter and I saw my salary. It was mind-blowing, I almost started speaking in tongues, and I said to myself, I have to give in my best so that I will keep collecting the salary, Yeah, so we need to answer the why question. So a real life example, think of learning tech like learning a new language. At first, you sound broken for a while, and that is perfectly okay. Nobody learns a new language and gets it immediately they started learning it. It takes a while, So the same language we all learned. For some, they learned it in 1 year, some in 2 years, I've been with people, who came to stay with us and they don't know how to speak our language, but within 1 year, 2 years, you see them speaking it fluently. You get so picture tech in that angle too. So who is who? So this is
Hi, I can't hear.
Oh, okay, it's very different. Okay, so let's sing melody first. No, sorry, let's do notes.
please remember where I stopped or what you heard last. Sorry, please unmute your mic. I'm not speaking. Victoria, please, are you on the call? Okay. All right, so let's continue. Yeah, so I was talking about the tech ecosystem and the entire product team, introducing us to the different product team when we talk about the tech ecosystem. The project manager, the why and the what, they represent the customers, and they also help in developing, ensuring what we are building, for the business till it gets to the customer. We have the UI UX designer. They focus on the look and feel. They make it pretty and usable.
Please, I'm sorry.
We have the software developer,
Can you
both
hear
front and
me?
back end.
There's nothing showing. Okay, it's showing now. There was nothing showing now.
Yes, I can hear you.
There was nothing showing on the screen before, but it's showing now.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah, then we have the QA engineer. We are the guardian, or call us the guiding angel. We are the safety net. We ensure that everything works before the user sees it. They also call us the behind the scene heroes. Many of you use different applications. The application is usable, fast, no issues and all. But you don't know the guys that are behind the quality, who tested the application, who make sure that it's usable for you. Those are the QA, the quality assurance guys. Then we have the DevOps. These are the infrastructure guys. They make sure that the application stays online. So that's what they basically do. So the next slide just, elaborated more on the different types of tech role. From the software development, you can see we have different roles like front-end developer, back-end, mobile, full stacks. So this just, elaborated more on the different, product teams, and you can, familiarize yourself with this. So why tech? Tech is powering everything now. Every industry, finance, healthcare, the whole runs on different software. The demand keeps outpacing supply. Companies are still struggling to hire skilled people. One of the best things that can happen to you in tech is to be skilled. And this happens when you keep improving yourself, you keep, learning new skills, advancing yourself, implementing what you've learned. And I always tell people that in tech, your voice, your negotiating power, the money that you're looking for, all lies in your skill. both technical and non-technical. So the better you become, the more you smile at the end of the month. So I tell people, instead of chasing salary increments, chase skill development, improve yourself, and that money you are chasing will eventually come without struggles. Then multiple entry paths. So tech isn't only about software development. You can enter through products, QA, designs, data, and so many other tech areas. And finally, AI is accelerating the entire industry. AI is changing how teams build markets, support, and operate. Yeah, I'm still on why tech market opportunity. Is that what you're saying?
Okay, yes.
All right, cool. So rounding it up, as you can see at the bottom, people who can use AI tools to work faster and smarter will stand out. So what we're trying to say here, even while you are, kickstarting your tech career, navigating yourself into tech, at the same time, start learning how to use AI tools, some of which we are going to, show you during this mentorship program. We have other AI sessions that are still coming up. So that you can work faster, smarter, and stand out amongst your peers. In tech today, in fact, starting from now, people who are AI, driven, people who knows how to use AI, leverage on AI, we start replacing those that don't leverage on AI at all. And before AI, some tasks that used to take me 1 week, I can do them in a few minutes or hours. And in a few minutes or hours. So, but again, one thing I always tell every aspiring tech professional, is don't neglect the fundamentals. Your foundation is very, very important. How best to use AI lies on your foundation, the fundamentals. So if you don't have any solid background, let's say in software testing, for example, using AI can take you nowhere. In fact, it's can even make you lose your job, because sometimes these tools can be biased. This tool requires human intelligence. It requires your expertise, because how much solid you are in that field determines how best you can use these tools. For example, if I'm doing a research, or I'm asking it to, create a document for me, the only way I can tell if it does the right thing is if I have the domain knowledge, I have the fundamental skills, and I know what I'm asking it to do. But when you don't have all this in place, it's more like you're just doing a guesswork. So never neglect the fundamentals, and that's why you're here, which is very, very important. Now, moving on to the next slide, which is why QA. So for quality assurance testers, again, the demand is very high. Secondly, QA is accessible entry point into tech. So for me, for example, I use QA as an entry point into tech because my early days, I hated coding. I never knew how to code. So I shied away from tech until I had the opportunity to come in through software testing. Today, I code. I write code. I automate. I even build website, but I use QA as that entry point into tech. And many other people have done the same. QA skills are transferable, you can start as a junior QA. Before you know you're a QA engineer or software development engineer in test. You see yourself doing DevOps, even DevOps security, becoming a QA lead. So these are skills that are transferable. And finally, AI is transforming QA now, making modern QA in demand. So even as you're learning your QA, growing your QA, you still need to infuse it with AI. All right. So I said you don't need to be the smartest. You just need to be consistent. If there's one thing you need to take home tonight, it is being consistent. So there's space for you in tech, not just as a worker, but someone who brings something unique. So for everyone that started today, what gets us to where we are now is consistency. Don't be amongst the few or the 10% that are going to give up, along the line. As long as you know the why, you can answer the why questions, you are disciplined, you have the right mindsets, you just have to be consistent. All right, so I think I'm checking the time. So moving on to the next slide, integrating AI into your journey. Don't fear AI, use it as your 24/7 tutor. So here we have the rubber duck method. Tools like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, you can use them to explain complex topics. So even when you are learning, you are reading stuff and it's not sinking, it's not digesting. You can use AI to simplify it. Look at this prompt here that says, explain what an API is like. I am a 10 years old person. I do the same. Sometimes, I ask ChatGPT to explain something to me as a novice, someone who don't have experience in this field. And it does is it breaks it down to the simplest form. So you too can do the same. It also serves as a debugging assistant. You're learning a tool, you stuck with an error. All you just need to do is paste that error on these AI tools and ask for logics behind the fix, not just the answer. One is going to help you find the solution, and you can also extend your prompt or your questioning by asking it, what's the logic behind this? How was this thing fixed? Then next is resume and LinkedIn. You can use AI to refine your resume or your LinkedIn, to match a job description. I do such too. Sometimes I just say job description and ask it to, refine my CV, to match this, job description. And give me some pointers which I can use to update my CV. So final notes. AI is a co-pilot, not the pilot. I'm sure many of us understand what the main pilot is and the co-pilot when flying an aeroplane. You are the main pilot. AI is your co-pilot, not the other way around, And like I said earlier, when you don't have the fundamentals or you don't have a solid background, that's when you see people start using AI as the main pilots. And they acting as a co-pilot. That is totally wrong. AI is your co-pilot and you are the main pilot. So you must still learn the fundamentals or you won't know when AI is wrong. I've seen different scenarios or situations where AI was actually wrong and I had to even correct it and point it to the right answers. All right, so let's look at the next slide, which is essential toolkits, speaking to the technical and soft skills. Now, I always tell people when you want to come into tech, don't focus only on the technical skills. As you're learning the technical parts, also focus on the soft skills. Today, when we train people in tech, we ensure that as they're learning the technical, they're also learning the non-technical skills. I used to share a story of how I almost lost my job. That same job that gave me my first, every check that I almost start speaking in talk. I almost lost that job after my second, after a year, I think after a year, I almost lost that job. Why? Because my non-technical skills were very poor. I was poor with communication. I was poor with collaboration. I was poor with time management. Technically, I was very good. But when it comes to the soft skills, the non-technical parts, I was not doing well at all. Then I was even, recommended to be fired. But I thank God for second chance. I had to balance both. So when you look at tools like project management tools, Jira, Trello, a project management tool, this is a tool we use when, building a software or developing a project where the entire, tech ecos system team we talked about earlier come together and use this tool for tracking, so we can use it to know where we are, what we've done today, what we need to do tomorrow, who is on what, who is delivering this, So when using tools like this, the non-technical skills you need to develop is communication, both verbal and written, explaining your box clearly, communicating timely, properly, and in a clear manner. Now, we also have tools like for documentations, just like the Google Doc, the Notions, the Confluence, and many other tools. How can you, balance it with your non-technical skill? We're talking about your critical thinking, always asking the what if, So even while I'm creating my test plan, I'm creating my test cases, creating strategies, documents, we need to bring in place our critical thinking. Then yes, we have communications too like Slack, just like we have our WhatsApp. Most tech companies use communications too like Slack, Teams, to communicate within teams. You can have groups, you can have channels, you can have groups for different projects, you can DMs your colleagues, Now, when using these tools, your non-technical skill here is we talk about empathy, caring about the user's experience. caring about your colleagues, how they work, how they show up, and how you communicate. Because when we talk about, even showing empathy, this speaks to how you communicate with them, and all. Then we have versions control, tools like automation tools, version control, GitHub, time management helps you in this aspects, beating the procrastination monster. So yeah, so this there's more to this, but I just put together a few, or I'll say the most important one to me when it comes to communication, collaboration, critical thinking, empathy, time management, when we speaking to these soft skills. So now let's look at your step-by-step career roadmap. So I have a 5-step launch sequence, which I've highlighted there. The first one is to pick one part. When we talk about the tech ecosystem, or when I mentioned the different product teams, from developers to QAs to DevOps, project managers, the first thing you need to do is you need to select one part. Which part is it for me? Is it QA? Is it development? And stick to it for at least 3 months. Don't say I want to try QA and at the same time project management, or let me try. No, you will never get somewhere with that approach. So pick one. Next is absorption. Learn the basic skills. Is it HTML, CSS, SQL, or manual testing, depending on the skill or the part you select. So you need to focus on the basics. Now, next is application. So today, most hiring companies, they want to see your proof of work. They want to see what you've done with everything you've learned. That's why I'm even encouraging us, as you're learning, start implementing, start building your proof of work. So you need to build a proof of work. If it's QA, how many test cases have you written? So you can write test cases for popular app like WhatsApp, Uber, or any popular application in your country. Then the fourth one is connection. Here you need to optimize your CV and LinkedIn and start talking to people in the roles you want to. I remember one of our training some few years back. There's this guy by name Haki. He came for the training, and in less than 3 weeks, he came to me and said, I've gotten a job. I was like, how did you do it? We are not even done with the training. He said, as we were training, he was all the tasks that were given, he was doing them. He was, practicing more and more. And he went on LinkedIn and he started reaching out to people. And I asked him, how many people did you reach out? He said, more than 50 people. And one person replied him, send me your CV. And he got an entry role. So don't stop at selection, don't stop at application, connect with people. In fact, from the day one you start learning that skill, start telling people, this is what I'm learning now. And as you are progressing, start, let people know how far you've gone. Some of us, we always want to wait till we feel we are very strong. There's no time for that. No company is, waiting for your perfection. We have entry-level roles, we have internship roles. You can start with all these. And as an hiring manager, when I'm, intervening for entry-level role or junior role, there are some basic things I even want to see in you. I'm not really passionate about your technical skill. In fact, at that stage, I'm looking more at your soft skill. Is this person someone that is ready to learn? Can this person learn fast? How does this person think? What has this person done? I'm not looking for perfection. I just want to see some of these things I've mentioned. And finally, certification. So this is not a must-have, but a good to have. Once you've acquired the necessary skills, you've optimized your CV and all, you can take another bold step, acquiring certification. For example, someone that is in QA, go for ISQTB, someone that is in program management, certified in Scrum Master, and so on. So moving to the next slide. Why most beginners struggle? So I've shared some of this earlier on. The first one is they try to learn everything. Don't learn everything. Start with one. 2, lack of community and support. Learning alone makes the journey harder. Without mentors or peers, motivation may fade, except you are very strong and stubborn. When I learned mobile automation many years back, during my master programs, I learned it for a year alone, but if you ask me, that's not like a wise way to do it. I learned it for almost a year, but today when I train people in mobile automation, I can train you in less than a month. Then they keep switching focus, You just need to focus on one, focus for at least 3 months. Fear of failure and imposter syndrome. Yeah, this happens a lot. People having this fear of failure, imposter syndrome. And I always tell, my students that you didn't get it or that you didn't succeed in that interview doesn't mean you failed. You've just tried, you need to try again. Failure only happens when you stop trying, or the day you give up. That's the day you can say you actually failed. So another one is that they feel alone and compare themselves to others. Never feel alone. You have your community, you have your mentors, you have your peers. You need to be open to walk up to anybody. And again, some of us need to work on egos, or those that like to be alone. You need to change a little, be a people person, be open to people, reach out to people, ask for help. For those that know me very well, if there's one thing I'm very good at, asking for help. Be it my junior, be it my senior, I'm ready to go onto that, group, ask for help. I love asking for help because it makes my life easy. It saves me from a lot of, headaches and sleepless nights, or long hours debugging an issue when I can easily just ask for help. They don't know what they are working towards. So again, aside knowing the why, you also need to know what you are working towards, the field you are into. What's the roadmap like? How long will it take me? What am I looking to get out of this in X number of times, And finally, life pressure. They can't afford to wait for delayed returns. Life requires stability, and tech can take months before paying off. So yeah, this happens to, for some, they think tech is just, a quick way of, earning money. Yes, for some, it happens that way. There are people I've seen a lot, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, they've gotten their job and cashing out and, living their dream life. I've seen even 6 months, but looking away from life pressure, they were all consistent. They know why they were here. They know what they are aiming for. So whether it's 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, the good thing is that they all got what they wanted. So, yeah, so moving to the next slide, which is role play, the power of mentorship. One of the best things that happened to me in my early days of my career was subscribing to a mentorship program. So yeah, that was the days of Conga. I think my second year in the company. Second year of the company. They rolled out a mentorship program and they asked us to pick a mentor, And funny enough, who did I pick? I didn't pick someone I liked. I picked someone that we never liked each other. And why did I pick him? He has the quality I actually wanted. He's very disciplined. He's very hardworking. He shows up right all the time. He always get the job done. He's result-oriented. But guess what? We never liked each other. In fact, he was the one who recommended that I get fired because I was frustrating him due to the fact that I lack, some non-technical skills. So I chose him because he has some potentials that I want to, pick from him. And when he saw my name, he was surprised. He had to come to my DM. I heard you picked me as a mentor. Are you sure? I said yes. And we started. And since then, a lot of things changed about me. That was when I even got my fourth promotion. That was the time I started, improving in so many skills. It was one who told me to drop this. And yes, then I was focusing on too many things, trying to learn too many skills at the same time. He calls me and say, or drop these two for now. Focus, get it right, then we move to the. So, look at this scenario. You've been trying to fix a bug for 3 days. You feel like a failure, right? Now, without a mentor, you can give up thinking tech isn't for me. And you just go back to your whole job. But with a mentor, like the QTMP mentorship program, you reach out, the mentor shows you it was just a simple typo. They remind you that they made the same mistake 5 years ago. So the lesson is a mentor doesn't just give you answer, they give you a shortcut through the frustration. Now, the next slide, which is the hard truth. And some of these things I've been sharing is still about your mindset shifts, getting the right mindset. Now, let's talk about the hard truth, challenges and overcoming them. Yes, there will be blood, there will be sweat, there will be sacrifice, there will be hard times. The challenge, we talk about imposter syndrome. That voice saying you aren't smart enough, you are not good like your colleague, you can't make it, the background you came from it doesn't match, the tech ecosystem, different voices lying to you, you know. Um, Another challenge is the tutorial hell, watching videos but never building. You watch, but there's nowhere to build or where to implement, you get frustrated. So how to win? One is determination. Set a non-negotiable study time, and this comes with discipline, Um, 2, 10 hours once in a week, no excuse. This is the part I always emphasize on, no excuse. Today there's no power, tomorrow you study with physical book, next tomorrow no laptop, next tomorrow write logic on paper. Recently I was mentoring a student, put him on a project, and he came to me. I said he's not sure he can continue. I said, why? He said his laptop is having issues. I said, use your mobile phone. Yeah, because we are testing an app and we are to test this app both on web and mobile phone. While we are waiting for your laptop to be fixed, continue with your mobile phone, because now this is the excuse trying to come into play and, pull this guy out of the system. You get, so the truth is excuse will always come. And the interesting truth is every excuse are valid, but you have a choice whether to bow to that excuse or overcome it, find a way around it. For those that know me very well, I don't work with excuse. No, there's always a way around. Excuse is just one way for us to, um, you know, give reasons for our lapses and reason why we can't do well, just to make us feel good. But here I try as much as possible not to give room to excuse. Knock it out, knock it up. You don't need it. It won't help you work faster or move faster. Yeah, so I've talked about determination, which comes with discipline, stay consistent, and never give room to excuse. So many top engineers today started on broken laptop. Some of us don't even have a laptop, we're borrowing, until we got a job that gave us a laptop. Their determination was higher than obstacles. Thank God for remote today. When I learned automation, I learned in a very far distance, over 3 hours drive every Sunday, just because I want to learn. I was determined. I was not thinking of the obstacle, the hours, commuting buses, or how much I'm going to spend. I was just focused on, the main goal, which is to learn the skills. So watch out for excuses. While we are rounding up, the growth mindsets. Applied knowledge is never wasted. For everything you learn, try to always apply it. Whatever you do now determines your level of growth. And remember that applied knowledge is never a waste. Next is what you put in now, what you learn now, even in your current role, is what defines your tomorrow. The things you learn now, the things you implement now, the things you putting into your work today is what defines your tomorrow. If I want to be an automation engineer tomorrow, I have to start learning today. And to the level at which I learn it today determines who I become tomorrow in that field. Whatever you put in now determines your next level or how fast you grow. Yeah. So one thing I always tell people is that growth is not measured by years, but what you are able to contribute within a time frame. So I won't say I'm a Q engineer for 12 years and there's someone with just 4 years of experience that is doing better than me. Yeah, it can happen. There's always room for overtaking. See every job, every project as a chance to build your future self. Tech is evolving fast. Either you grow or you fade. One other shift in mindset I want to chip in again is you need to embrace and love the challenges that come with your growth. Some of us, we're already in that space. We don't see challenges as a pain point. In fact, when it doesn't come, we are worried, because it builds us, it makes us stronger. We love learning so much that when we see a new tool, we want to start learning, we want to apply it. Like we derive joy in learning, in growth. We just want to keep getting better because we already have this mindset that growth is a continuous exercise. Learning is a continuous exercise. It never stops. Even when you land your first job, you still need to keep learning. When you become a manager, you still need to keep learning. Today, I have different courses lined up on AI, trying to equip myself. Now, let me tell you one interesting thing I did this year. When I started learning AI, I needed somewhere where I can implement everything I've learned. And what did I do? I looked for where I can, volunteer, do voluntary QA testing, not for money, but for practical insights into what I've learned before. I wanted to implement it. I want to see how this thing works. And immediately I saw it, I jumped at it, So we need to, enjoy everything that comes with it. Sometimes it's going to be sweet, sometimes it's not going to be easy, but as long as you have the right mindsets, you know the why, you are disciplined, you are consistent, you know why you're here, trust me, it's going to be a roller coaster for you. So final advice, breaking into tech isn't a race, it is a journey. A race you can run from point A to B, but a journey, you are the only one that can head the journey. You don't need a computer science degree. What you need is curiosity, consistency, and commitment. I tell you for free, more than 70% of people are trained, checking their background. None of them studied computer science degree. Even myself, I studied mathematics in school. The tech world is vast, and there's a place for you in it. Whether you are starting from scratch or switching careers, let your why keep you moving, and your how evolves as you grow. Your background doesn't limit you. It's only your mindset that does. That's why I keep emphasizing on the mindset shift. In this same field, I've trained different categories of people. People that I can say they have a zero tech background. They even struggle to operate keyboards, asking where is this character? You know how bad that is. But I could see that they have the right attitude towards what they are doing, which speaks to curiosity, consistency, and commitment. They don't care how long it's going to take, but they just give in their best. And today, they are doing fine in the industry today. I always use these two sisters as testimonials for people just to encourage them, So, and finally, I always tell people that anybody can learn anything as long as your mind is there. You don't know it because your mind is not there. I started knowing mathematics in secondary school when I was in SS2. From GS1 to SS1, I always run away from mathematics. But the day I made up my mind that I must know this thing, in fact, mathematics became cheap. And same thing applies to tech. If your mind is there, you know it. Like I said earlier, it's not that you don't get it. It's just that you don't get it yet. The more you learn, the better it becomes for you. So your future is created by what you do today and not tomorrow. Starting a tech career, it starts with what we do today and not tomorrow. And closing before Q&A. So your first assignment, success, love, action. So the first task is I need you all to write down your why and post it in the community and any of your social media, be it LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Tag me using the hash tag QTMP mentorship program. And next is set up your study station today if you don't have one, and identify your AI tool. Identify one AI tool you will use this week. So here too, I know some of us might not be familiar with different AI tools, but I want you to start your research. And by the time we dive into, other topics, everything start coming together and start making sense. Yes, so that brings us to the end of today's mentorship. Yeah, so the final quotes, I won't miss this. The bridge between your current life and your dream life is called work. It's called work. All right, I think